Let's get into it. We'll start with the offense. This is the White House flea flicker play. And just wanted to show there's a lot of different things that happen here on this play. First of all, they start in 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. Tight ends are here. Who are the wide? I mentioned this on yesterday's show, but who are the wide receivers with only 2 on the field? DJ Moore and Roma Dunze are actually off the field on this play. They're on the sideline. Olamide Zaccheaus and Luther Burden. You got 10 up here. Of course, this is ultimately where the ball goes to. So defensively, this is what you would call an unscouted look, even in week 3. You talk about that a lot in week 1. Well, here you are in week 3. If you're the Cowboys here, you're Matt Eberflus. You're probably going, what is going on here? Right? 2 best wide receivers aren't even on the field. Right. I think your antenna would probably have to go up a little bit on what is about to happen here on this play. This could be a Ben Johnson special. They're going to shift, though, from 12 personnel. That's still technically 12 personnel, but it's really now 21 personnel because you put Cole Kmet in the backfield as like an extra fullback. So 2 guys in the backfield, still have the other tight end here. And ultimately, we know what happens because this ball is going to go to Luther Burden, who has to set this whole thing up, right, by going slow and kind of slow playing this like he's going to go to block the safety, when in reality, he's going to go north and catch the go ball from Caleb Williams. So this is where things got a little crazy, obviously, with the protection up front. We'll show that a little bit closer in a second. But again, Luther Burden, he's got to sell this. This is one of the biggest details of this play, is slow playing this, making sure that he gets past the corner here, but really his eyes are on the safety. Like, hey, we're running a run play, of course. I'm blocking. Same thing with OZ down here. I'm blocking. I'm not doing anything else. We're just blocking up a run here. This is the moment where DeAndre Swift goes to flip this backwards to Caleb, and you can see things are getting a little hairy up front. Believe it or not, a rare moment where Joe Thuney gets beat.
Yep.
And I wanted to point out a really nice job here from Braxton Jones. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a hold or a tug here, but he's realizing his teammate to his right is getting beat here a little bit, and there's no doubt the flip back here too also helps. But at this point, this play could have been blown up in the middle, and that is ultimately, and the tape did confirm this, why the flip back to Caleb Williams was a hand grenade.
Because of the player that got through hitting Swift's arm.
That D lineman hit Swift, really just kind of everything got pushed
Which I kind of
back.
liked it because then it was just more dramatic. It made the play more fun with the high flip.
Yeah. That's one way to look at it.
Ben lost a few days on his life from it, but I thought it was more dramatic that way.
But a little bit of an assist here to Braxton Jones because he does help hold up that lineman. And here's the moment where Caleb actually goes to throw. All of a sudden, you got a pretty good pocket here again.
And look at DeAndre Swift, because to me, he's the biggest key on this play. Gets hit on the flip back, still is able to get it out of his hands to Caleb, and then able to turn around and get a block down, a crucial block.
Yeah.
The guy arguably closest to Caleb Williams is able to turn himself back around and make maybe the key block on the play for Caleb to stand in there and fire that thing down the field.
DeAndre Swift bounced back very strong in pass protection in this game. He struggled in Detroit, and he was much better this week. And I'm sure it was hammered all week long because Eric Bieniemy really cares about that. So that's a great point by you on this play as well. And I also just love the play design because, like, okay, if things go crazy, I just notice Cole Kmet's here underneath too. Like if Burden didn't sell his fake well enough and he's not wide open, there are other answers built into this. Sometimes with flea flickers, especially at lower levels, but even in the NFL, it's kind of like an all or nothing play. And the nothing is a sack or a fumble because, all hell broke loose. So, and it was close on this one, but it ended up being okay. I also just wanted to point out, so this is that same moment.
And I'm sorry to go back, but that's Smythe on the end blocking? or is that Loveland?
I think Loveland was still in at this point. Okay. It might be Durham Smythe.
Well, that was a good block out there, too, because that guy wasn't moving.
Yeah. But this is the same moment where the ball's being pitched backwards to Caleb, and I just wanted to point out like how well Burden did in selling this, because this is also the exact moment where he had throttled down here, right, to sell the block. This is the exact moment where he's going to accelerate and go.
Look at Zacchaeus, too.
Yep. And you can see, though, this defender, he's already moving in, so he's got him beat. And same thing here with this safety. He's moving forward. So at this moment, there's just no way that he's going to be able to recover and get back to Luther Burden with his speed. So really well done by Luther Burden. Let's move to the defensive side of things. And there's a little nugget in here. It has to do with something Lance Briggs talked about the post game and on yesterday's show. But I just kind of wanted to show you, even defensively, some of the stuff you have to put up with. All the things that can happen pre-snap with what offenses are doing these days. So this is how the Cowboys originally lined up on what ends up being a run play. This ends up being a 7-yard gain for Javonte Williams. But you can see Dak Prescott here. He's signaling. He's changing the play. He sees a look here, and he's going to actually call the tight end over. See, now he's moved the tight end for extra protection in here. And watch now, this cat and mouse game, because Noah Sewell, he's playing Mike linebacker. He's pointing, okay, now we got this tight end. And he's actually yelling this way, and Daniel Hardy's recognizing it. Also, another wrinkle I wanted to show you, because the Bears have 5 linemen in. And this is something we saw in this game with Daniel Hardy coming in. So the Cowboys are in 12 personnel, but instead of going base with 3 linebackers, remember they're missing T.J. Edwards in this game. We saw this starting in the spring. Daniel Hardy was getting reps at linebacker. He's also he's been a defensive lineman. Well, how are they going to use this guy who's primarily a special teamer? Well, this is a package where we saw this as kind of an extra lineman who's in between playing linebacker, in between playing defensive end. And so now Dak Prescott's sorting all this out. He's seeing Noah Sewell figures this out. Well, guess what? He's going to change it again. So now, I mean, this just goes to show you when you get to the line of scrimmage, all the different things you can do, because now
and how important it is to get to the line of scrimmage with enough time to play this, have this dance.
Right, because he saw Noah Sewell, saw this. Now I'm going to change it again. Now he's changed the play or made checks twice. What's going on? And then this I noticed too. Zoom in.
Yep.
See that? The finger? We're running this thing that way. So they I don't know the Cowboys playbook, but they might have a naked pitch where he can go left off of this, depending on maybe where the linebacker to the backside of the play is lined up. That wouldn't surprise me. But clearly he's signaling this is the Javon. I doubt the blockers at this point know what they're doing. They're going this way, right? So, but there's got to be some type of naked off of this where maybe he pitches it back to Williams, but instead he goes, nope, we got the numbers this direction, we're going to the right. So this is all before the ball's been snapped. It's super interesting. And then this is what I wanted to show you from what Lance was talking about. Up front, you got your linemen being doubled here. So what he was talking about is so important. You got to read your keys if you're the linebackers and get down, and the safety too. Get down into these gaps to fill when they're going to be doubled. That's all fine, but I guarantee you the reason why there's a little bit of hesitation, obviously, too, is because at any given point they can go play action on you. And they don't hand this ball off. Now you got Dak going on a naked, and if these guys have come downhill that hard, that's where they suck you in and they kill you on play action. So it's easier said than done, and it's even harder than when this was a double team, but now this lineman's actually moved up off the lineman to the linebacker, and now these gaps are all filled up. Really, I think the only thing that and Daniel Hardy's doing a good job here of setting the edge, forcing this run back into the inside. So it's a well-executed play by the Cowboys. Sometimes you just got to say, hey, this is well-executed pre-snap, post-snap. Maybe Jaquan Brisker could have gotten in here faster and filled something up. and now this is going to be kind of hard to see, but this is a good job by Daniel Hardy getting off his block. He set the edge. He's now trying to tackle Javonte. Javonte takes him for a ride, though, because
he saw way too much of in this last game.
That's the thing. Like, somewhere in here, Noah Sewell needs to get off his block, or I think Brisker's actually in the right gap. I don't know that for sure, but maybe he comes back in here. It's just someone's got it. And really probably the biggest problem is this is Dominic Robinson now. I should circle him in red so you can see him better. He's pushed back now, 4 or 5 yards at that point. So someone's just got to get off a block a little bit better and stuff that up. But also, sometimes you got to give credit to your opponent for making a good play. This was a well-executed run play by the Cowboys, and Javonte Williams takes Daniel Hardy for a ride. They pick up 7 yards.
Yeah. I mean, and that was, I mean, we saw this throughout the game last week. The Bears just have to, once they get that point of attack and you make that contact, you can't be giving up 6, 7 more yards after contact. Too much of that last week.
Absolutely. All right. Kicking game. I mentioned this.
Boy.
I mentioned this on Twitter. And I just wanted to show it. So on the right is what we would call your traditional pro-style punt. Okay. Really in the NFL, this is what you see 99.9% of the time. You see these tight splits. That's how it normally looks. On the Bears' first punt, and I went back and checked all of them. This is the first time the Bears have shown this all season. What you're seeing on the left is a rollout style punt. So you've brought the extra wing to this side. Notice how the splits are way wider.
Yep.
Okay, so you're kind of spreading this thing out a little bit more. You still have the personal protector here. But what you're also going to notice as I go to the next frame, the angle the punter takes. So Tory Taylor, coming from Australia, you see a lot of rugby-style kicks with these guys, and I like the rollout because it can buy you time, too. If they don't rush hard, a lot of times, so his angles, he's going to come out here. It's a rollout, obviously. And if they're not rushing hard, you can just hold on to that ball a little bit. You can let your coverage get downfield. Buy that time. That's why I'm a big fan of this. Surprised you don't see more teams do it. On the downside, well, here, with the pro style, you're just going to come more right up the middle and kick over your snapper, typically right up the middle. But as we go to the second, this is at the kick point on both of these punts. So if we go to this rollout, the problem is this would have worked just fine, but Scott Daly actually got beat pretty bad by number 94, and this thing nearly got blocked, which was scary. So he didn't really have the time you would have thought. But remember, Tory Taylor started over here. He's kicking over here. So you get that rollout, that extra protection to this side with Cole Kmet lining up over there. Just a different style of punt. I'm curious to see if the Bears, who've been having some issues in punt protection, they've already had one blocked. They had another. This one nearly got blocked, and they had another one in this game where Roschon Johnson had to tackle a guy and had a holding penalty, or that one would have been blocked. This has been an ongoing issue with the Bears.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you say when you're rolling the punter out like that then the blocks have to hold longer? So isn't that more dangerous for if the protection's been a problem?
Yes and no, because, I mean, yes, in theory, but by widening it out and giving up a different look, you can also be buying yourself more time to kick. I know it's kind of hard to explain, but yes, it's just as important for the blocks to hold. But you're giving the punter the option to look at what's happening in front of them. If the protection's breaking down quickly, you can kick it quicker. Otherwise, if you feel like, and you're also reading keys, because you're always reading, are they coming after this kick, or are they going for a return where they're not really rushing? And that, a lot of times, you have to identify pre-snap. Yes, Steven?
I noticed two different positions of the field here with two different styles of kick. Does Tory Taylor have a better chance of getting more distance on this rollout type kick? Because like right now they're pinned in the back of the end zone or near it at least. Does he get more distance? You've seen him more in training camp.
That's a personal thing. I mean, that's some kick. Some punters can't do this at all. These rugby style kicks. To me, in general, the rollout rugby style is more helpful if you're trying to kick away from a returner and trying to go more for direction and maybe get it out lower where it bounces. The one on the right, and this has just happened to be the one I picked, really for no other reason, but you could see he's kicking from midfield. So I think this is the one he actually got inside the 10, where he kicked it, and you could see him angling this one a little bit more this way because he ended up going towards the sideline with it. But again, he caught this one here. He's just going straight ahead. That's a more traditional, just straight up pro style punt. So I just wanted to show that they have this in their bag. We saw this a bunch in camp. It's the first time we saw it in a game, so I just wanted to show it to everybody. You might not even notice it in the game, but keep an eye on it going forward because they'll either continue to roll with it, or maybe because it almost got blocked, they'll just ditch it altogether. Yeah. So there's your ODK for week 3.